Welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Steve Lane, and we are back at the Grand Champions Polo Club at the Santa Rita Polo Farm on the Buenos Aires field for the finals of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cups. Thank you for joining us here today. I have all the players lined up ready to go. Trust me, they have been out here early warming up for this. This is a continuation from last week, so both of these teams should be ready to go. So let's go to the players' introduction and Steve Lane.
Thank you, Dale. Ready for the finals. We've got players and we've got umpires. And first, we will introduce the team in black. Dracarys playing the number 1 position. Chaitan Krishna. Playing number 2, he's no stranger here at Grand Champions, Joseph Schwartz. And playing number 3, he's been a key player here for this team to get to the finals, Leon Schwanke. And the highest rated player on the team from the Northeast, Brandon Phillips at 4 goals. For the team in the multicolored shirts, and it's called Loudmouth, playing number 1, Scott Sobero. Playing number 2, he's no stranger to high goal polo, Nick Manifold. Playing number 3, the highest rated player on the field today. He's easy to spot in that orange helmet, Chris Campson. And, of course, playing the defensive position, rated at 0 goals. He's a key player here, Michael Armour.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one, Steve Lane. Both of these teams, they have not seen each other in the 3-bracket setup that we had for our first tournament of 2023 at the Grand Champions Polo Club, and we played most of our games here at the beautiful Santa Rita Polo Farm, so keep an eye on the backdrops. We'll be talking about the Santa Rita Polo Farm as the day goes on. And, of course, Gaston Dorniak and Roddy Matthews in the saddle. We will be using our triggers today, and if the umpires have a challenge or umpire challenge, if they were to disagree, but we are not using the challenge system here in the finals. Just the triggers and our umpire challenge, which Steve Lane will work as our IRO third man. I'll be working as the third man. He'll work as the IRO. So that'll bring us together with the iPad, which we are seeing everything on real time here at the field now, development process of CTV Sports and the CTV studios. So big shout out to everybody in the studios there. Guys, get ready to rock and roll. This should be a good one. The Buenos Aires field, one of 4 fields here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. As we have the Aspen field behind us, we have the Penn field, which you'll see just to the north, and then the Santa Rita field, which you'll see to the northeast. These 2 teams are very well put together, and away we go as it's going to be Leon.
Schwanke right here looking downfield and sends a pop fly right up, but Joseph Schwartz unable to get there. And it's a back shot out of there by Nick Manifold, and Manifold over to Campson. Campson right there being ridden off by Schwanke. Campson drags the ball off the boards into a pony, deflects backwards a little bit, but he's able to go back and get it. And now Campson right parallel with the boards. He's got Manifold up front as well, and now Chris Campson drops that pony's head, coming on through on the near side. Excuse me, fellas, coming through, and right up now to Michael Armour. Michael Armour followed up by Campson. Campson unable to keep that ball going. Schwanke coming in there with a near side back shot. And now, here comes Joseph Schwartz. Joseph with a long shot downfield. Brandon Phillips stretching that pony on out. Phillips with a worm burner right down the field, being chased down by Manifold. Brandon Phillips coming on. Brandon Phillips on that gray pony, trying to get it right out front, takes the man on the hip on the near side. First goal of the day for Dracarys, and Brandon Phillips making that run.
Right on. Brandon Phillips is going to get out in front as it all starts out with Loudmouth controlling the game, but we have watched this happen all week long with these 2 players that play in the back, and that's Leon Schwanke and Brandon Phillips. Remember, 1 goal on handicap based on the Dracarys team being a 7-goal team and an 8-goal lead. And, Steve, that's the way you capitalize on the handicap early with 5:40 on the clock.
extending that cushion right now out front. And the ball's back on the ground to the players, and Schwenke coming out the back door. Manifold staying with him. Manifold's going to ride him off and take that ball forward just a little bit. Now with a back shot, looking for Campson, but Schwartz and Armour coming together, and now Campson's going to pick up the loose ball. Schwenke coming on through, and we've got a quick whistle right here. So the two umpires confer on the call, and it looks like we are moving towards that north end and possibly the 60-yard line. Roddy Matthews, Gaston Dorniak working together, officiating today, are two international umpires. And we have the final here of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. 10th game in the tournament. 7 games within bracket play, 2 semifinals, and now these two teams have made their way to the finals, and Chris Campson here on a 60-yard penalty for defended shot.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about this tournament. This tournament has looked a lot more like 12 and 14 goal polo. And remember, stay with us. We will be doing our stats at halftime. And here comes Campson.
Chris Campson hits it along the ground. It's straight enough, unstoppable by the team in black, Dracarys. So a 2-1 score right here, and the first goal off the penalty 4 line.
Yeah, Campson scored 11 goals in his last game, and he has been fabulous from the penalty line and also from anywhere within 100 yards. So be careful, Campson, from 80 to 120. We've seen him hit the 5A from the spot, and he has been super successful using his team. And, you know, they line up pretty similar, Steve, these two teams. They hit the ball. They let their number one, Scott and Jayton, pull the team. We'll see if they keep that flow going today.
And Chris Campson trying to keep it going right now as he goes back and gets the ball and sends a line drive right down the field just inside the 60. And here comes Scott Sobero being ridden by Chayton Krishna, and Sobero with a little flick of the wrist, unable to keep it going. Now Manifold's going to come firing on through. Schwenke turns the ball right in front of goal. Manifold jumping on that line and the right of way. A whistle by the umpires, and it's possible that we could have a tie ball game right here.
So at 4:19 on the clock, we'll get our second whistle of the day. And that's going to go ahead and put it down in our south goal. So it looks like it is going to be a open goal penalty shot. And that's going to give an opportunity for the equalizer, as you said, Steve. Need to be careful here. We talked about that on the breakdown of our stats. And actually, one of the teams was the Loudmouth team. They got a little loose on their fouling, but the Dracarys team has been pretty sound when it comes to their defensive play. But right here, 2 opportunities, and within a minute, Chris Campson has tied this game up. And we're going to click down to 4 minutes here in our first chucker of play.
So umpire Matthews and Dorniak will bring them on back to the center. We'll start with a bowl in to keep things going. The clock right now ticking on down. Remember, the clock does not stop after a penalty shot or when the ball goes over the back line or over the boards. Only stops by the umpire's whistle. So Loudmouth, the team with the multi-colored jerseys. Dracarys in the black and gold, and Leon Schwenke would like to go 1 goal ahead, but Campson has something to say about that as he rides off Schwenke, takes a neck shot over here to the boards. Campson checking down, taking it back the other way. Schwenke staying right there with him. Now Campson has to let Schwenke clear. Leon staying right there with Chris. Chris with a shot intercepted there by Brandon Phillips. Schwenke able to get back to it. And now Phillips trying to set up for the long ball. Brandon trying to get around Nick Manifold. Leaving it for Leon Schwenke, and Schwenke right now with a shot directly towards goal, trying to find a black jersey up front. Joseph Schwartz out front as well as Manifold. Schwartz coming on through, a little flick of the wrist and scoring his first goal of the day.
Yeah, and this is big for the Dracarys team. If you remember in their last game that they played on field 4 against Dundas in the semifinals, the Schwartz was a great big part of the game, not just scoring goals, but on the defensive side of the stick. He was very clean. He cut his fouls down tremendously from one game to the next within a 24-hour period, Steve. We talked a lot about how he had progressed in his game. And remember, wearing the number 2 on one goal, playing against some big guns, and now that's playing against the guys in the middle there. And those two players, Manifold and Campson, very tough to deal with. So if he can come alive right now and get that confidence up, and this is a great confidence booster with 2:23 to be precise, with 1 goal lead here, and our first chucker looks like we are going to have attack time. That's going to give Brandon Phillips the opportunity, and looks like Chayton to come out on a fresh pony. Want Chayton get to the bowling? We'll get this one going, and this is very good, very tight game early on, Steve. I thought we'd see this between both these teams. Both teams feeling each other out as they get going in the first chucker.
Well, as you mentioned, they have not seen each other before, so each team having a few blanketed secrets. So we have an immediate whistle right out of the bowl-in as it comes all the way through. And remember, the umpires bowl it in hard and on the ground underhanded, so if nobody touches it, you would like to have the ball at least reach the number 4s. So right now the two umpires come together discussing this play and discussing ball placement too as well. And remember all the factors that have to go through an umpire's mind when it comes to ball placement: location of players, location of where the foul took place on the field, location of the opponents on the field, and also the danger and severity of the foul. So marching down to that 60-yard line, and Gaston Dorniak drops a ball right there on the 60, and Schwanke will do the honors of teeing this ball up. So Leon Schwanke, a good 3-goal player. He's been a key component for this Dracarys team.
Yeah, it's been fun watching Schwanke play. He gets a lot done on offense and defense. Him and, actually Brandon and Leon, they played well in the back. They used the leapfrog very well. That's where they've used Joseph and Chayton in the front. Now, Chayton always pulled the team also, and so look for that. But with Campson in the back there, could be a little tough. Here comes Schwanke.
Leon with a shot that doesn't quite reach the goal. Campson coming out of there, that ball deflected, and Brandon Phillips dropped on the line right there, and Campson coming across in a desperation play. The whistle blows, and the umpires are discussing a penalty 2 right down there. Open goal penalty where the infraction took place, and of course it's the team's choice. They can take it from the point of the infraction or the 30-yard line, and in this case right here, fairly close and just off to the side just a little bit, so they're going to choose the spot hit. So the team in black might go ahead by 2 here as Brandon Phillips waiting for the umpire to call play. Umpire says play. Phillips with a little half swing, not far out. So Dracarys, the team in black, going ahead by 2 one more time as we click down to 2:06 on the clock.
You got a Dracarys, of course. If you're not used to the Dracarys name, if you know the Game of Thrones and the House of Dragons, that is when the pilots of the dragons ask their dragons to breathe fire. And we've talked about this team breathing fire, especially in the 5th and 6th chucker. They are a strong team. They play across the board, and we'll see if they can keep it going. Loudmouth, actually a clothing line, so keep an eye out for the clothing line, the Loudmouth clothing line, as very special, as you can see the jerseys they're wearing today.
You betcha. And Brandon Phillips receiving a pass, going back to play defense, and Michael Armour coming on through, receiving that pass from Campson. And now, here is Phillips trying to turn the ball towards the outside and mixed up there with a couple of other players. The whistle blows one more time. And it looks like a penalty against the team in black, Dracarys. So, umpires very consistent, gap staying the same, and it looks like in this particular play, Loudmouth, the team in the multicolored shirts, chooses the 30-yard line because that play happened well off to the right-hand side, a difficult angle. And now umpire Matthews will come back Chayton Krishna going back behind. All the defending team must be behind the back line and 30 yards from the ball. Chris Campson with another half swing, putting that penalty through right on through the uprights, and Chris is Campson's third goal of the period from the penalty line.
Yeah, you need to clean this up. If you're the Dracarys team, do not give Campsons the opportunities, as we know how many goals Loudmouth has scored from outside the 60. They've had a great offensive attack. Scott Saboro scored 5 goals in one game, and he's a -1 goal player. Michael Armour has done his job at the number 2 position, wearing the number 4, but playing the number 2, as you will see. He rotates around, and now 3 up a goal, Steve. Little tough. Got to be careful here in the first chucker.
Loudmouth winning that bowl in, and Chris Campson sending a pass right down to Sobero. Sobero with a shot, headed just to the left-hand side, but unable to put it in, and Schwanke clears that ball out of there. Brandon Phillips jumping on the ball. The horn has sounded. Campson coming over with Schwanke. Campson just ahead of Brandon Phillips, and now trying to get it going back in the Loudmouth direction. Joseph Schwartz coming in there, hooking Campson out of the play. Brandon Phillips tries to make a big hit. Schwanke able to get back on it. Here comes the second horn, and the whistle is going to beat the horn with 1.7 seconds on the clock. So that is going to end chucker number 1 with a score of 4-3 for the team in black. Stay with us. We'll be right back for chucker number 2. 5 more to go here on CTV Sports.
Foot golf is a kind of life, and also it's a combination about golf and football.
So I got into sport through social media. Someone approached me on Twitter and said, "Have you tried it?" I'd never heard of it at that point. So I went to my local course and tried it and just completely fell in love with the game.
This is not as easy as it looks on your body. It's a lot of kicking. We don't normally kick this many hard kicks in soccer.
For me, this and the U.S. Open are the 2 top U.S. tournaments. It's something we all look forward to every single year.
Great fun, and I think everyone would enjoy it when they try it. You can't not have fun.
When you set goals at the start of the season and you're able to achieve them at the end of the year, I think I can speak for everyone and say when we set goals and we make the sacrifices that we make, which a lot of people don't see, and then it all comes to fruition, it's a good feeling.
I literally live, breathe foot golf.
Second chucker action here at the finals of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. We had a penalty 5A at the end on a right-of-way violation to end the first period that gave control to the Loudmouth team. Loudmouth in the multicolored jerseys, and Scott Sabaro, Nick Manifold, Chris Campson, and Michael Armour. They're an 8-goal team going up against Dracarys with Chayton Krishna, Joseph Schwartz, Leon Schwanke, and Brandon Phillips. They received 1 goal on handicap. They scored 3 goals from the field, and so that gave them 4 at the end of the first chucker, the Dracarys team. But the Loudmouth team fouling 3 times in the first chucker, and Campson successful in all 3. I'm Dale Shred with Steve Lane, and we have been anticipating this final.
Yes, we have. These 2 teams not seeing each other beforehand, and both of them playing very, very well. I might add. And Loudmouth just edging out Dracarys when it came to bracket play just by net goals. So right now we have another penalty 2 in favor of Loudmouth, and Campson, as he has done before, takes that banana swing and sends it right on through. So 4 goals for Campson from the penalty line.
What do you call that? The banana swing?
Banana swing, just a half swing, yeah.
It's a banana swing.
Banana, just to the shape of a banana. If you look at the head of the mallet, how it arches, yeah, banana
A banana.
swing.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll add that one to the Chucker TV book of phrases. As we always love that. I like to call it the putter stroke. You call it the banana stroke. But, well, you're getting it done. But once again, you need to be careful here. 4 penalties and goal shot penalties for the Loudmouth team, and Dracarys getting a little bit loose inside the 60. That's going to get the equalizer here, as we do have a timeout for one of our mounted officials. We are playing at the Santa Rita Polo Farm, and the beautiful Santa Rita Polo Farm, and we're preparing for, well, the beginning of the season here. We have our 12 goal going on also, but on the bowl in, picked up quickly, it's going to be KK.
Campson up to Manifold. Manifold just a few steps ahead of Brandon Phillips. And Manifold comes back, takes the ball across, unable to complete the tail shot. Campson coming on through, and his first goal from the field, his 5th goal of the game, but first from the field.
Yeah, there you go, Campson. He makes a penalty 2 down on the far south side. Then he wins the bowl in. And keep an eye on this combination, because we have seen this happen over and over and over. Either Michael Armour or Nick Manifold going forward on a quick release ball. And that's Campson winning the bowling out of the back, hitting the 80-yarder, and then taking it down and finishing all season. Steve, they've been very successful all season with that play.
They certainly have, and Manifold and Campson have played a lot together and a lot against each other. And right now, Chris Campson, the highest-rated player on the field, wins another bowl in and sends a line drive. Scott Sobero right up front, but Manifold able to drop on the offside of that ball, a shot towards goal, but just a little bit wide to the right-hand side.
Yeah, and hence what we were talking about once again. Campson winning the bowl-in from the backside. He wins a lot of bowl-ins, and then he has been facilitating the ball perfectly. They are being coached by Red Armour, and 9 goals in his day, and also top professional umpire. He likes to move the ball in the old school ways, and they've been doing that. And when they play that style, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Brandon Phillips cuts the ball over here to the near boards, just a little bit too far for Schwenke to drop on it, but Campson does. Campson raking that ball underneath his horse's neck, trying to get around Leon Schwenke. Now taking the ball back towards the center. Campson right now has room to work. He sees players downfield. He hits the ball straight towards goal, a little bit for that left-hand post, and Manifold decides to take it on the near side. Tries the near side back shot, now picked up by Phillips. Brandon Phillips pops that ball up, but able to get back to it. Now Schwenke underneath Phillips' horse's neck. Schwenke dropping on that line. Schwenke, Manifold right there with him. Here comes Chris Campson into the party. Now Campson on the near side, able to take the ball forward and checks down on that gray pony. Schwenke right there with him. Chris Campson going to rake the ball off the boards, turning his horse back around, and now one time another line drive back down the field. And Scott Sobero right out front, but being chased by Chaitan Krishna. Now Sobero, he gets a great shot. A little off to the left-hand side. Can he keep it on the field? And no, that ball is going to trickle over the end line, so we'll have another knock-in by the team in black.
Yeah, great series of plays here by everybody. Campson with a great drive for show, putt for dough. He finds Soboro. He's been great in front. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Great rotation here by Dracarys and Chaitan Krishna going from the number 1 position to the number 4 position, applying the pressure on Scott. I think this is something we're going to probably see all day long, Steve. The way they line up, it's almost better for Chaitan to go ahead and play the back, rotate around when he's not covering Saboro on the breakaways, especially on how many goals Saboro has scored. Now, don't get me wrong, when Chaitan's in the front and he's scoring goals, the problem is you have Michael Armour wearing the number 4 number, but he's not playing the number 4. He's actually playing the number 2 because Campson's playing back, and if you do hit the ball deep, then he has the ability to go and make a play on Chayton, and then he takes him out, and now you have 4 going on 3 the opposite direction. So it's going to be interesting how they work this chess game out at this early in the game.
Yeah, Campson staying back, as you mentioned, and sending all of his teammates down front, and that has escorted their offensive drive this period. They have really picked it up. So great offense here by the Loudmouth team and forcing Dracarys to play a lot of defense, and Brandon Phillips is getting his share of knock-ins so far. Now Schwenke brings it in. Nope, that's Phillips. Phillips with a cut over here to the boards. Chayton Krishna out here all alone. Schwenke says, hey, I got it. Going down the field. Campson coming in there to Mark Schwenke. Chayton Krishna down front. So is Joseph Schwartz. And now a shot right up to Chayton Krishna. That ball staying on the field right by the boards. Chayton with a nice shot down the field. And now Manifold has to go to work right here. Chayton coming across here on the offside, trying to get it towards goal. Unable to do so. And now Joseph Schwartz comes in there with Manifold. And that ball over the back line. So we'll have a knock-in right here and an offensive drive right there by Dracarys.
Yeah, this is going to work out well. We talked about it. Both players pulling the team, and that's Scott and Chayton. Right here, he's going to pull the team. Just a little bad luck. Gets up in the coffin corner. Has to go for the deep neck shot. But a good coast-to-coast run and a positive possession for Dracarys.
Chris Campson bringing the ball in off the back line. He's got Michael Armour downfield, and Nick Manifold floats over towards the center. Scott Sabero playing a conservative one out front. Campson unable to keep that ball going, but now Manifold backs him up. Manifold just with a little tap shot to the right-hand side of Schwartz, protecting that right away. And now Campson drops his pony's head. Schwartz staying right there with him. Manifold going to fall in behind. The ball over there towards the boards. Campson decides to circle back around, leaving Schwartz alone momentarily. Now Campson with another shot, using his 3 players for an offensive drive. And now Brandon Phillips with a tail shot, looking for Schwenke. Manifold in waiting in the center of the field, wins the play with a back shot. Excuse me, that was Michael Armour. Yes, and now Manifold right here. Michael Armour doing a great near side back shot, breaking up Schwenke's wish to have an offensive play. And now Manifold once again on that Dark Bay pony. Brandon Phillips staying right there with him. Manifold, Phillips come together. Chris Campson comes through and swipes the ball. Now, with a near side back shot by Manifold over to Campson. Schwenke's going to mark him up. Campson working that ball towards the south end. Now releases a shot towards goal where Scott Sobero is down there. Unable to keep it on the field, so another knock-in coming from Dracarys.
Now you're going to click down under a minute and a half, and again, good defense here by Christian, who's going to keep the pressure on Sabaro, not giving him the opportunity just to have those easy pop-ins, and that's putting the pressure on Campson to shoot the ball a little deeper. This is going to be their 3rd knock-in of this chucker, the second chucker. So at the moment, Loudmouth shooting at the goal, but percentages a little bit lower than they were in the first. But the Dracarys team cleaning it up well here, not fouling and giving them open goal penalties.
Leon Schwenke trying to get around Campson, hits a neck shot, and Campson winning the right-off, taking it forward on the near side, now able to go back to the offside. Schwenke right there trying to upset Campson's play. Manifold right behind. Campson still with the ball. Campson circles back around one more time. He's got room to work, and he's going to release that ball downfield where Michael Armour is up there playing number 1. Schwartz right there with him. Scott Sabero unable to make contact. Brandon Phillips going to bring it to the near boards. Manifold's going to mark him. And now Phillips with a neck shot. Doesn't quite get all of it, but Schwenke able to pick up the loose ball. But Manifold right there and a shot, and that's going to end chucker number 2. Phillips hitting that ball out of bounds. So when we come back for chucker number 3, we will have a change of possession play. Stay with us. A score of 5-4 for Loudmouth, the team in the multicolored jerseys, right here on CTV Sports. Polo League, a new breed of polo.
Welcome back, Dale Sweat, Steve Lane, and we are live here at the Grand Champions Polo Club. Grand Champions Polo Club, nation's largest polo club, celebrating its 16th anniversary. We're playing at the Santa Rita Polo Farm, and is the largest, most unique private, and 102 acres. And this place is just unbelievable. And we are playing on the Buenos Aires field, and you can see all the backdrops of the beautiful barns in the backdrop. To the north, as we're running to the north goal, we ended the second chukker with a possession play. Remember, when the ball goes out of bounds, the possession goes to the opposing team. Campson's going to have time here, and he's in range from about a hundo. Here comes KK.
Campson hits it along the ground, well out to the left-hand side, but Manifold works the ball on the near side. Now ridden off by Brandon Phillips, and Brandon Phillips sending the ball over to the boards where Leon Schwanke is. Schwanke doesn't waste any time. A little give and go right there. Schwanke trying to get it back to Phillips, and now Phillips on the near side, being ridden off there by Nick Manifold. Phillips still moving that ball down the field. Now Manifold with a topping back shot right here. Chaitan Krishna coming on through. And now Chris Campson going to pick up the loose ball. Campson working it back with a full swing. He loses his mallet head, so now he's going to flip it around and try the handle. And Leon Schwanke coming in, stealing that ball on the near side. Schwanke right here. Campson hooking with just the stick. No head on his mallet. And now we've got a whistle right there, and Campson coming back with two players coming. So looks like a little 1-2 right here, Delio.
Yeah, we got KK's looking down at the ball. They're focusing on the ball. You can see that on the replay. And two players riding down. And that play, actually, just a little miscommunication. One of the Loudmouth players needs to pull out of there because actually Campson won the ball. But two players were coming down the right of way. And this is probably going to go against him here. They'll drop that ball down in favor of Dracarys. Very tight first match here, Steve. I mean, the biggest difference here early on is just, and we'll see that. Remember, stay with us for our stats. What'll come at the end of the third chukker. We'll review them and break the game down for you. But right now, it really has been just the penalties that Dracarys has given up. So if they tighten that up, they keep going. But that's giving Loudmouth a 1-goal lead.
And a great offensive drive as Chris Campson taking the ball across the field right now. And Chaitan Krishna right back there with him. So is Phillips. He's got his eye on Campson as well. Campson setting the ball up. He's got Nick Manifold downfield, and he chooses the center. And Schwanke coming back, picking up the loose ball. And now Schwanke taking it over here to the new boards. Scott Sabero staying right there with him, and now Schwanke able to go back to the offside. Schwanke still on the offside. Campson up there as well. He's got to get around Campson. No easy task. And Campson with a near side back shot. That ball off a pony and right up against the boards. So Joseph Schwartz dropping on the line. Gets by Campson. Nick Manifold's going to chase him down, and Michael Armour back there as well. Armour unable to get to the near side. Joseph Schwartz putting that ball right in front of goal. Can he just flick the wrist? He does, but it's off of a pony and over the back line. So a scoring opportunity there for Dracarys, which did not score in the second chukker, and just missing this opportunity.
Yeah, great run here by Joseph Schwartz, taking it off the boards, listening to all of his players talk to him. He picks it out, keeps it out in front of the two Loudmouth players, but great second effort there by Armour as Michael Armour is just going to chase him all the way down to the end line. And that's another thing. We have seen so many plays in this 8-goal Aspen Valley Cup to start off our 2023 season at the Grand Champions Polo Club where there were second efforts. See, we've seen so many second efforts on both teams. We were talking about where we are playing here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm, and this amazing facility does have 212 stalls, 9 self-contained barns here, 2 tracks, 5 climatic-controlled tack rooms, vet room, staff quarters, a guest house, 4 polo fields, and we talked about the polo field. This is the Buenos Aires field. The Aspen field is behind us here on the east side at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. You have the Penn Field and the Santa Rita Field. And the club also We have 13 well-manicured fields, and it includes 9 world-class fields at the Grand Champions Polo Club with the Santa Rita Polo Farm. So that'll bring us into play, or we have of course, getting ready for our 5th year of our World Polo League. So prepare for that. But at the moment, we are in the middle of our finals of the Aspen Valley Cup, and KK is going to lay one out there once again.
He certainly does, and Nick Manifold receives his pass, and Manifold trying to get around Phillips right here. And now look at Chris Campson breaking downfield, but Schwenke staying with him, and Manifold tries to get that ball up. And now we've got a whistle on the play and maybe a little rubbing going on right here. So the whistle sounds, and we'll see what the umpires call. And right now, umpires come together for a discussion, and
they came together. It was funny if Nick, he kind of held on to release that ball. He had Campson going, and they come together right there. Just looked like one of the players had backed in there, so maybe they're blocking the ball right around about the 80-yard line. But, man, the give and go from Campson to Nick. Nick would release that immediately. Campson was flying by everybody, but then everybody converged, and they're going to work it out, though. It's going to be an opportunity at an open goal penalty 3, and this will put them on the line for the 5th time here in the first half with 4:35 on the clock and an opportunity to go up by 2 goals here, and any opportunity to be ahead against these two teams, Steve, is huge.
Chris Campson with that putter swing and missing a penalty 3 right here. We don't see that very often, so that chance to go up by 2 goals just became deflated as Brandon Phillips and Leon Schwenke work together to put the ball back in play, and that's Brandon Phillips just putting it on the field and now leaving it for Schwenke. Schwenke surveying the field, Brandon Phillips cutting back over towards the center, and now Schwenke hits that ball a little bit too far. Nick Manifold's horse kicks it forward, and Manifold able to get up on it, and now Phillips coming together, followed up by Campson. Campson working that ball, running the turn back around on his offside, and Campson taking it back and missing the goal, that left-hand post. Somebody moved it. Campson couldn't quite put it in there, so once again, Brandon Phillips and Schwenke will work together to put the ball back in play.
Yeah, interesting to see the stats on this, as the Dracarys team has knocked in a number of times here in the first half, and we'll be able to get a look at that at halftime, and that's going to be an issue for the Loudmouth team as they have attacked the goal. Ooh, man, for me, at least 70% of the time here in the first half, and even though it's still only a 1-goal difference, we've seen a couple games like that here in the 8-goal where one team was dominating the shots on goal. I think the Loudmouth team had 17 shots on goal in their last game, and they only won by a goal. So we'll see what happens this time. Remember, you got to put the goal between those goalposts, 24 feet, 8 yards. Sometimes look like a mouse hole when you're running 25 to 35 miles an hour on a 4-legged athlete, hitting the ball about the size of a baseball with a mallet that you must carry in your right hand. I actually met a couple guys last night, Steve, at dinner, and they were very surprised that you could only play with your right hand.
Yeah, that rule came out, and you had to be grandfathered in before 1974, and I played with the last of the left-handers, and that was Dr. William Lyle up in the Villages. And right now we've got live action coming as Joseph Schwartz unable to connect with that bouncing ball, but Campson does. Schwenke coming back here as well. Campson looking for room. Going to turn that ball. We've seen this play a lot by Chris Campson. Manifold right over there on his right-hand side, but Michael Armour breaking down the field. Armour reached back, couldn't quite get a hold of it, and Schwenke with a tail shot. Looking for Joseph Schwartz one more time, but Chris Campson takes him on his hip, rides him off, brings the ball off the boards on the near side, and Campson now with a deep neck shot right here down the field looking for Manifold, but Schwenke playing a good defensive position as well, puts the back shot into a pony, And now Manifold able to pick it up on the near side, leaving it for Campson. Campson with Schwenke on his hip, shoots towards goal. The next shot bounced off of a pony. And now Manifold with a shot himself and puts it on through. So teamwork between Campson and Manifold puts the 2-goal lead on the board.
Yeah, now they're going to work it back down once again, and they've been peppering the goal here in the third chukker. Finally, Campson, a brilliant play off of the boards, a poetry in motion, he takes it off. Everybody didn't need to fall into the rumble seat when Campson gets out in front. Then what he's done very well, and we've talked a lot about it, is Chris has given the ball up to his players on his team, passing the ball, facilitating the ball. And now he finds Nick inside the 40-yard line. And Nick, from that area on the field, high percentages. And look at this. They're going to get a 2-goal lead as we click down to 2 minutes.
Leon Schwenke taking the ball towards the south goal. Campson giving him a little bit of room. Schwenke off to the left-hand side. A nice approach shot. Can he get there before it goes over the back line? A little flick of the wrist puts it on through. What a fabulous goal right there by Leon Schwenke, taking the ball out of the bowl in and putting it through the uprights.
Yeah, and the Dracarys fan club down here with Dennis in the group come alive as they should, and what a goal, and they needed that, as we have not seen an opportunity for Leon Schwenke to get loose. He's been playing so much defense against Campson and Manifold here in the first half, and his forte is running the goal, and he's got to get loose here. Took the long way home, but a brilliant goal, probably the goal of the day.
Right now, Roddy Matthews puts the ball back on the ground to the players, and Chris Campson right there waiting for players to clear. Brandon Phillips staying back there with him, and Campson fakes a swing. That's Joseph Schwartz back there with him as well. And now Campson trying to get by Schwartz, sends a pop fly over towards the center of the field, and that ball passes just a little bit beyond center. Scott Sabero attempted a near side play right there, and now Schwenke coming in, being ridden by Manifold. Schwenke trying to get around Manifold. Little help from the pony allows Manifold to do a near side back shot. Phillips coming in, clearing that ball across the goal mouth. Phillips still on the drive right here. Scott Sobero staying back there with him. Scott Sobero right on the hip of Brandon Phillips, and that ball pops out. And now look out. Here comes Manifold. He's got a little time to do it, but Manifold backed up there by Michael Armour. And now Brandon Phillips coming through, hooked out of the play. A near side back shot there by Manifold, and that ball is over the end line. So that offense has swapped around. Dracarys scoring a goal. Loudmouth on the offensive attack. A score of 6-5 here in the finals of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. And Dale, we've got some stats to see how that first chukker compared to the second chukker. A full swing when it comes to offense and shots on goal.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. As the stats are always so important, and I am ready for these, and there you go. It makes sense. 6-5, very close game up to this point, but this is a stat that I wanted to see. 12 shots on goal by Loudmouth, only 6 shots on goal by the Dracarys team. Loudmouth, they have been one of the teams who gets a lot of opportunities to shoot a goal, but low percentages on shooting, hence the score. On knock-ins, 5 by Dracarys. Makes sense with the 12 shots coming from the Loudmouth team and only 2 knock-ins for the Loudmouth team. So good shooting in the first half by the Dracarys team. Fouls committed? Well, I talked about it all chukker long, the first half. Too many fouls by the Dracarys team, and they were in the first chukker. They fouled 4 times of 6. So they cleaned it up a little bit in the third, in their second and third chukker, but the Loudmouth team only fouled 3 times, and that is good polo. If you're coaching that team, you're happy about that. Now, penalty scored, well, the Loudmouth team was very strong. 4 out of 5 from the penalty line, and that's given them a great opportunity, and those were, well, 160 and 330. So, Dracarys team just needs to clean up a little bit on the fouling inside the 60. Don't give those goal shot penalties. And the Loudmouth team needs to raise their percentages on shots at goal. Great stats there, guys. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you for joining us here on CTV Sports. We're going to go to a little halftime break, and we'll be back for our second half of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup.
As far as barns go, it's 10 points.
The weather, scenic views are unbelievable. To be up here in the mountains in this weather, I don't think you have many choices nicer than this.
I feel like we have some really competitive polo up here. It's friendly competitive polo.
The place is amazing. Good polo fields, good players, good horses, so it's a good experience. It's really good.
Club, they have empanadas there, they have Argentine style barbecue.
I'm in love of this place. The club is really nice, the people is really good.
At least what I can see is that it's an amazing place to be playing polo with the family and with good friends, enjoying, and the weather is great. I can't complain at all.
There's so much to do up here, and people are great, and there's some of the best polo in the country up there.
I think this is the place to play for in the summer.
It's as good as it gets for summer polo.
This may be my new home.
And as soon as our child is old enough, she's going to be in their polo school.
You just want to be a horse in that barn.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Steve Lane, and we are live here at the Buenos Aires Field Santa Rita Polo Farm 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. And if you missed the first half, well, it's a perfect final. This is the kind of final we thought we'd see. Dracarys coming in with Shayton Krishna, -1 goal player. Joseph Schwartz Leon Schwenke, and Brandon Phillips. Leon on 3 goals, Brandon on 4. They come in as a 7-goal team, and they scored 5 goals in the first half, or 4 goals with 1 goal in handicap, and that gave them 5 goals to go under the tent into their locker room to prepare for the second half. Loudmouth with Scott Saburo on a -1, Nick Manifold on 3 goals, Chris Campson on 6 goals, the highest rated player in the tournament, and Michael Armour playing number 4 on 0 goals on A-rated. They left the field with 6 goals, and Chris Campson scoring 5 out of the 6 goals, and 4 of those were on penalties. Now, we got to look at the stats at halftime, and they work out perfectly. A great job, guys, in the studios there, and the CTV studios where we take all of our stats, and they send them out to Steve and I. And, man, the Loudmouth team shooting on goal 12 times. Steve missing the goal 5 times. And that's been a bit of their, you could say, the issue they've had. They get a lot of shots, but they've been low on percentages. And then the other side was just the Dracarys team fouled more than we've seen them foul in a half. And they cleaned it up, though, at the end. So it'll be interesting to see how they start out this 4th chukker.
Yeah, I think that's when that second period is when the offensive momentum shifted just a little bit. Dracarys unable to score in the second chukker, and Loudmouth had 1 from the penalty 2 line, 1 from the field. So, and now Dracarys in the third period scores 1 from the field. So maybe getting their little offensive attack going here, gaining some momentum. But Loudmouth scored 1 from the field, so they were fairly even in the third chukker. The second chukker was the bad chukker for the team in black.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they adjust here. And like I said, I would think you'd see the Loudmouth team maybe take some, just take some safer shots. But here's a guy who's been playing offense and defense, and we're going to get Leon. He's on the roof.
Schwenke right now checking down, letting that ball settle, going for the deep neck shot. Didn't get quite the angle he wanted, but Chris Campson's going to go back and make sure that ball doesn't pass over the back line. And now Schwenke with a near side tail shot, unable to get to it, but Nick Manifold checks down. He's got Joseph Schwartz out front, going to hit a little back shot over to Campson. And now Campson working the ball back down. Schwartz keeping a watchful eye on Campson. Campson releases the ball. Scott Sobero up front. Sobero right there, and Manifold coming on through. And now Michael Armour on the near side. Armour right here trying to get around Phillips. Manifold calling for the pass, which he does receive it. Nice shot there by Michael Armour, and a pass over to the center of the field. Manifold just out front, shooting towards goal, and that ball still in front with a back shot out of there by Schwenke. And Schwenke with an offside, and now Campson. Don't leave him alone right in front. Campson and Schwartz come back there together, and Campson completing the play, finishing and putting it right on through. So a quick whistle right down there afterwards, and I believe we'll have a tack timeout. It looks like the goal will stand. And Dale, exciting action right here at the beginning of the 4th period.
Yeah, it looks like Dracarys comes out of the bowl in there and just takes control. They had it down in front, and then that ball got right down there on the line. Then it was backed out. Then we had a melee play right here in front. KK flips it forward, takes it forward right there, and puts it in. It looks like a clean shot. So we'll see what they're talking about as Steve will have a conversation with the teams.
And we've got an injury player timeout right there. Somebody took a mallet to the hand. So
before the goal or after?
Not quite sure, but the whistle was after. I think the action took beforehand, but the whistle came after the goal was scored. So the paramedic on his way down there to check things out. We do take pride in safety of all of our mounts and our players.
Yep, we'll have to check this out to see. Oh, yeah, all right, so they're going to go take a look at this. We're running back, guys. We're just going to take a look just to make sure there wasn't any malice on the play outside. And so we'll take a look at all the drone footage, all the different footage here, all the replays we have. And they'll play them back for you and us here out at the field. Take a look at him. Make sure that Michael, number 4, did not have an issue there, as he looked like he did get hit in the elbow. Here's the play right here, the initial play from Manifold coming across the line there. Then you get everybody dropping in behind. Michael's still out of the play. He actually started the play off. So where he picked it up, they come flying through right there, and that might have been Michael right there. So I don't see anything. And then Campson picks it up, finishes it off, and goal counts. So great replays, well done, guys. That's what we wanted to see, just to make sure. So, sometimes the mallet does get hooked on another mallet and slide up the mallet. No malice on the play. No players trying to. Remember, you must be in control of your mallet 100% of the time while you're on the polo field. And so that means on follow-throughs, on shots, any kind of play that you make with the mallet. So if it does hit a player or a four-legged athlete, the umpires do have the ability to call foul. No need on this play. And we'll give the goal to KK Campson, and that'll push the Loudmouth team up by 2 goals.
Jaden Krishna getting that ball out of the bowl in on the near side, and now Joseph Schwartz helping him along, ridden off out of there by Campson, and Schwenke firing on through, first the near side, then the offside, and now Brandon Phillips coming in to pick up the loose ball with a back shot, looking for Schwenke, but that ball deflected, which allows Campson to go over and pick it up. Campson on the offside right here, and Schwenke coming in the mix as well. And a whistle on the play, and I believe that's going to go to at least center field, Dale. Not flattening out, crossing the line after the shot, I believe, is the call.
Well, everybody take a look at this one, too, because you have a player down over there, so here they come. As we see them coming across the field here. And that ball's going across the field, still going across the field. And then he turns like that. I think it bounced. It must have went off of a player. So as Leon Schwenke was going through there, that ball must have hit him.
Yeah, just not flattening out for the shot, and as we've talked about before, if they flatten out, they might not get that play off.
Right, but Chris turned upfield there. So flattening out is going across the field. So they run that play one more time if they have an opportunity. As we will make sure that Leon's all right. There's always have medics on the scene on it just to make sure. As we do have a conversation going on with our IRO and our mounted officials. So we play that back, guys. Or just one more time. I'm going to make sure when they turn back here, and we go a little bit further back, guys. We played it back just a little bit further back when it started. That ball started a bit further back when they came across the line. Remember, the line's coming across the field. Now, as a player has the ball, remember, a player does have the ability to run that play through. So what I'm saying there is Chris Campson has the ball on his offside. Schwenke has the ability to run through on the near side and make a near side play, and this is what I'm talking about. Here we go. Now, Campson's in front with the ball right there. Here comes Schwenke from the right side. The ball's going to get tapped, and they come across right there. Now, he must tap it across earlier now.
Yeah, Campson changed the angle up and down the field a little bit, and Schwenke not coming, flattening out, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
But, wants a near side play, but unable to straighten his horse up parallel with the line of the ball and that right away. And so here we go.
So everything will look all fine there. No foul on the play. They basically just one of those type plays. As Campson had the ability to turn the ball upfield, and Schwenke clearing out across. So no foul on the play. Well done, guys, on the replays there. As we got a good look at it. And I guess you could call Schwenke for coming across there. That's what we're going to call. So they are going to call Schwenke for coming across the right of way, not being able to flatten out as Chris Campson. Remember the quick line change in the game of polo? That ball can move, well, as you said, a quick line change. It doesn't matter the distance, only as far as the umpire can see the ball move. So it can be just an inch. It could be a centimeter as long as the ball moves. and the umpire can visually see the ball move. In this case, Campson put it to the front, put it on a 45-degree angle. And Leon comes from right to left across the field and kind of gets hit with the ball there, but he's going to get caught on the right-of-way violation. And here we go with 5:35 on the clock.
Campson, happy with that tee, sends a line drive down the field, and Nick Manifold picks up his pass, putting it right on through for a quick score right now with 5:24 on the clock and a score of 8-5.
Yeah, well, we've seen this happen many times, too, with the Loudmouth team. Starts with Chris Campson on the 5B from center field, and he either finds Nick, Scott, or Michael, and they do it very well. I call it the power polo play, and they do it at a high level, this Loudmouth team. And look at this, Steve. Loudmouth coming out of the tent, getting a 3-goal lead here early in this Fort Chucker.
Biggest lead of the day, and umpire Dorniak gives the ball back to the players, and a quick whistle right there. So, umpire Dorniak and umpire Matthews will talk about this play, and it looks like it's going in favor of Loudmouth. So a spot hit, nobody with an offensive drive right there. So from the point of the infraction, penalty 5A, our umpire is being very consistent. And that was a sandwich on the play out of the bowl in. So Loudmouth picking up the penalty 5A, and let's see what Campson does here. He's got Manifold about 60 yards down. Campson going to tap it one time. Brandon Phillips sees Manifold. He knows he's the go-to man. And Campson with a long drive to the right-hand side, just off the pony of Scott Sobero. And now Manifold coming in there as well, taking the ball towards goal. First offside, near side, offside, right back through. So Loudmouth picking up 2 quick goals right here, both off of penalty 5. And actually that was Michael Armour on the play, picking up the pass. So a great play there by Michael Armour. So first from the penalty 5B center line, and then from out of the bowl in, penalty 5A, Campson using his teammates very, very well to set up the offense for the team in the multicolored jerseys.
Yeah, mixing it up well. Now you have Michael, who does a lot of work for this Loudmouth team. We call him the hustle player. He gets in there hooking and bumping, making things happen, and now getting involved in the scoring. So Loudmouth firing on all cylinders here in the Fort Chucker.
Scott Sobero well downfield, and Chris Campson knows it. He sends a long pass on the ground up to Sobero. Sobero hits it with the heel of his mallet, and now Brandon Phillips taking it to the far boards, being marked there very well by Nick Manifold. And Phillips checks down, brings the ball back to his right-hand side, trying to get away from Manifold. Manifold unable to make the hook, and Phillips on the near side, and Chris Campson knows the ability of Phillips. And now Manifold checks down with a tail shot. Leon Schwenke back there as well. Manifold unable to turn in time, and now Schwenke with a drive down the field. He's got a 3-on-1 situation. Michael Armour has his hands full. Joseph Schwartz taking out Michael Armour. Schwenke unable to keep that drive alive, and now Manifold checks down and turns the ball back towards the far boards. Manifold, he's got Sobero out front, unable to get the pass to him, and now Brandon Phillips drops on the line end right away, decides to take it across the field, coming right towards us. Brandon Phillips checking down. Oh, and a bad bounce right there, and Scott Sobero coming on through, and now Schwenke rakes the ball back. Schwenke still on the play, still on the ball. He's trying to get some offense going. Joseph Schwartz on the move here, as is Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips with a cut shot right up front, looking for Chaitan Krishna. Chaitan has room to come over to the offside, and a back shot out of there by Michael Armour. And now Chris Campson picks up the ball dangerously on the doorstep of the Dracarys team, but Campson releases that ball downfield. Scott Sobero once again out front. Chaitan Krishna going to run him down. Sobero, and some coaching going on from behind, but now Schwenke.
Who's coaching?
Chris Campson from long distance.
He was coaching him from like a 120-yard bag. You can hear him in Boca.
And Schwenke sends a pass up, which Joseph Schwartz jumps on. Schwartz stops that ball just a little bit. Michael Armour told to leave it by Campson. Campson with an offside back shot. And now Manifold able to get back on that ball. And now looking for Scott Subero up front. Hits a long drive down the field, and Scott Subero moves from right to left to get over to it, and a whistle on the play. So we'll see, and I think, and this is an example of running and gunning and a possible courtesy horse change right here with 1:24 on the clock.
Yeah, I figured they might even shut it down before that, actually. They went back and forth and back and forth, and, we talk about the horse races. Of course, remember the Belmont being 2 minutes and 24 seconds. As we break it down, that courtesy change, remember the 3 horse races. And it makes so much sense and a perfect example of why we use the courtesy change and have used the courtesy change. Shortest race in the Triple Crown, the Preakness, mile and 3/16. They call that 9.5 furlongs in the horse world. About a minute 53 it takes to run that, and it was set by Secretariat in 1973. The Kentucky Derby is the second leg of the Triple Crown. It's a mile and a quarter. 10 furlongs, and they run it in a minute 59, and of course it was set by Secretariat in 1973. The race that we like to compare polo to is the Belmont, and that's the longest race, and that race is a mile and a half, and that is 12 furlongs. They run it in 2 minutes and 24 seconds, and I'll repeat that, 2 minutes and 24 seconds, and Secretariat set that record in 1973, the year that Secretariat won the Triple Crown. Well, we all know that a chucker is 7.5 minutes long. Sometimes you'll see them at 6.5 minutes or 6, based on the clubs and the polo. So you can understand why the courtesy change is so successful amongst everybody around the world, and for the safety of the 4-legged athlete and the 2-legged athlete. Not just has sped the game up and has given safety to the 4-legged athletes and the 2-legged athletes, but we have noticed that also we have seen less fouls committed in games because the players do know they have the opportunity to change, and it also gives players that aren't as capable of changing their horse very quick. It gives them the opportunity, and that makes it even. Here we go, as we got them back here with 1:20 on the clock, 9-5, the old Dolly Parton, as it's going to be Joseph.
Schwartz trying to move the ball down the field, but hooked out of there by Armour. Campson comes across. Armour breaking up that play, so Chris Campson come in there. Campson hooked out of there by Phillips, but able to pick up the ball still, and now a pop fly right here as Campson comes on through, and Schwenke wanted a back shot, so a quick whistle sounds, and we'll see what the umpires call here.
Yeah, so now you're going to be taking a look at this one. They're going to be, of course, you have Schwenke on the ball, and we talk about breaking it down. You're either going to have a player riding in from behind or backing into the pony. Those are the two options here. Here's some footage for you from the drone. And the ball pops up in the air, and then it goes to Schwenke's offside, and you see Chris riding in there. Chris needs to go on the near side, riding in from behind, penalty 5A, and away we go.
Chris Campson trying to get around Joseph Schwartz, hits a headhunter back down the field again, and he's been feeding Scott Sobero a lot of balls out here, and Sobero jumps on this one. Unable to connect, but Manifold backing him up on the near side, and now Manifold. Schwenke comes through, stolen out of there by Phillips. Phillips right now trying to keep things going. First horn on its way. Phillips still down the field. He's got Schwartz on the move. Michael Armour on his left-hand side. Schwartz with a shot towards the center of the field. Chayton Krishna right there behind as well. And that ball will go over the back line and in chucker number 4.
Yeah, back and forth, but you need to give this chucker to the Loudmouth team. 3 unanswered goals in the 4th chucker for the Loudmouth team. That will push them up to a 4-goal lead. But mucho tiempo, as we say in the game of polo. 2 chuckers left. Stay with us. We'll be right back on CTV Sports.
There's something about when you get up early, prep the plane, and you take off, and you get that first light of day. And the air is crystal smooth. You can see forever. You have to have the right aircraft for the right flight with the right crew up front. Only NetJets can do this. The flight dissolves into the background. It should just be the here and now.
All right, CTV Sports, Fit Chucker, final of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. Dale Schwett, Steve Lane. Steve, big chucker there for Loudmouth coming out of the tent.
Yeah, they ended up with a Baker score 9-5 after that period, and right now Dracarys hit the ball over the back line, so we're starting with a knock-in by Loudmouth and a quick whistle as Campson pounded that ball back down over the center line. And
he has done a great job today, once again, moving the ball. They have not changed their game up. If anything, I would have to say that maybe the Loudmouth team is actually moving the ball even quicker and faster. Now, I like the adjustments here by Dracarys as they watched their last game and they saw Scott Saburo score 5 goals, 4 from the field, 1 from the penalty line. So Shane Christer's done a great job with the rotation. Remember, Shane plays the 1, so he's been rotating back and rotating back to the front. It can be a little difficult to make that play. But Campson has just been releasing the ball so quick and hitting a good 80 to 120 yards every time. It's kind of, separated how Brandon Phillips and Schwanke play the game. It's kind of, split them up. They can't play as close.
It has forced the Dracarys team to mark every player, cannot leave anybody alone because Chris Campson will find him. And Campson, we ended with a right-of-way violation, and now that sent Loudmouth to the penalty 4 line, which Chris Campson puts it high between the uprights and undefendable.
Yeah, 4th penalty of the day. He's only missed 1. He missed a 3. And, man, he has been phenomenal. Well, through the whole tournament, Chris has been a goal-scoring machine. He's led the scoring for his team every game and also has been a great captain by giving the ball up. Back to Chris.
Campson winning another bowl in right here off the hand of Gaston Dorniak. And now, once again, has Scott Saburo down the field, and Saburo looking over his shoulder, realizing how much time he's got, hitting that ball straight towards goal. Saburo on the move right here with a little drag. Coming in there is Joseph Schwartz, but that ball trickles on through. So Scott Saburo, and now all 4 players for the Loudmouth team on the score sheet.
First time he'd been open all day, and it was in a bowl-in, so that would be the time that he might get free. Chris finds him, and Scott does what he does well, and he carries the ball down the field. Very smooth, hits the ball very clean. We actually compared him a lot to Melissa and her archery stroke, very straight. And he hits his penalty shot straight. He actually took his first penalty shot ever, which was a penalty 3, and put it dead down the center.
Looked like he'd been taking them all along because he didn't have any problem. But right now, Michael Armour coming through there on the near side, but Schwenke rides him off. Takes the ball forward just a little bit, trying to let Armour go by. Now rakes the ball back. And Nick Manifold coming in there to join the fiesta and whistled for his efforts right there. So it looks like, and of course, this is a case in point right here where they had a player downfield, and had Manifold not fouled, then it might have been a center hit, but with that player downfield, that broke up a good offense. So hence the umpires moved this play down to the 60-yard line, penalty 4.
Yeah, no, this is Nick. I'll let this play go here. I mean, you're up by 6 goals. You have them, and we've been talking about it all season long. The umpires have been super consistent on calling everything from 20 yards to center, even 30 yards to center with players going, as Steve said, with players downfield. They've been moving into the 60s. So this is a play you just got to not be overzealous, reach in there, take it out, because now they're going to move it a good 100 yards, and we have a goal shot penalty.
Yeah, we've said it time and time again. Sometimes you just have to realize that you don't have a hit, a hook, or a play. Go on to the next play. And that's what brought the Dracarys team to the 60-yard line right here. Leon Schwenke carefully teeing that ball up, down by 6, would like to make it by 5. Still a lot of polo to play with 5:27 on the clock. So Schwenke going to circle that horse around, trying to get it on the proper lead, which is the right lead. Here is Leon. Schwenke hits it along the ground off to the left-hand side over the back line, so a missed opportunity right there from the penalty 4. And once again, Chris Campson and company will bring the ball in off the back line. Chris Campson on that gray pony.
A great job here once again by the Loudmouth team. Really not fouling that much. This is only the second or third foul or goal shot penalty that they have given to Dracarys. And so that has stopped momentum, and they need to do it from the field here. So on the knock-in, they come together, and you're going to get a possession play?
Yep, change of possession. Campson putting a little bit too much angle on that ball, looking for a teammate. And Schwenke doesn't waste any time. He hits the ball back down. He's got Schwartz off to his left. Schwartz coming in there, reaching back. The ball's still on the field, and here comes Double K, bringing it back the other direction. Double K, Schwenke right there with him. Chris Campson checking down, trying to get around Leon, allowing Leon to clear right now. And now Campson once again releasing that ball downfield. That pass falling just a little bit short, but Scott Sobero does a good job of checking up, taking the ball on the near side, hooked out of there by Phillips. Michael Armour hitting that ball off the ground, and now Phillips with another near side back shot. Reaching back, Michael Armour still with the ball, offside, near side. Now Chaitan Krishna riding him off. Can Michael Armour keep it on the field? And no, that ball out of bounds over the back line one more time for Loudmouth.
Yeah, super strong possession here by the Loudmouth team. Now, not just having Nick and Chris in the offensive attack, now adding Scott and Michael. And Scott did a great job. Michael just fell in behind him. And not even that, because now you got mismatches going on the field. And when I say mismatches, you got Michael Armour, who's now being guarded by Brandon Phillips. And when you put 0 goals against 4, that means trouble in paradise, because that means you got Campson on 6 and now Manifold on 3, and they're playing against either a 1-goal player or a -1 goal player. And those matchups in polo are huge on how a game can be dictated and how you play your game on offense and defense. And at this moment right here, Steve, everything is working for Loudmouth.
Yeah, it's hard to say, tell a lower goal player to mark a higher goal player, because, let's say a 2-goal player and you tell him to go mark that 4-goal player. Now what you're saying is be mounted, as well mounted as the 4-goal player. Think like a 4-goal player. Hit the ball like a 4-goal player. And sometimes it just doesn't work. But what you can say is, if you're a lower goal player, take out a higher rated player than you are. It's like cutting a leg off the table, and pretty soon the table will fall. So right now we've got our courtesy horse change, and Dale brought in by the Grand Champions Polo Club and Melissa Gansey. Now in tournament conditions. So The governing,
Hallelujah. Can I get an amen? Hallelujah.
The governing body taking strides for what the Grand Champions Polo Club has set.
You didn't give me an amen. Hallelujah.
Oh, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
So our players returning back to the field after jumping on another pony. And we will have a knock-in by the Dracarys team. Once we resume play, Loudmouth, the team in the multicolored jerseys, Dracarys in black. And you can probably see our scoreboard down there, a 6-goal difference right here. But there is no quit on the Dracarys team as Brandon Phillips taps it once. Now letting that pony stretch on out. Tries to get a shot downfield. Here comes Joseph Schwartz. Joseph Schwartz sending the ball back downfield, but Campson playing a good defense. Brings the ball underneath his pony's neck, looking over his shoulder. He's got room to work here. Schwanke coming back to put some pressure on him. Campson, once again, one time, right up to Michael Armour. But Brandon Phillips playing a great number 4 here today. Breaks things up, and Manifold overrides. Schwanke coming in here, going to take the ball. Oh, unable to bring it forward. And now Manifold up to Scott Sabero. Scott unable to get to it. Campson firing on through. Hits the ball straight up to the left-hand side of the goal. Chayton Krishna coming back there as well. Campson unable to connect. A back shot out of there by Phillips. Tail shot over to Schwanke. Schwanke now with a shot along the boards being ridden right there by Michael Armour. And that ball will pop out over the top of the sideboard. So we will have a change of possession play right here coming in favor of Loudmouth.
Yeah, just bad luck here once again. And but it starts out with Mike Armour with the hook on Brandon. There's their mismatch again. 0 goals against 4. Then that gets everybody moving downfield. Campson just cherry picking at the moment. And actually now he's being marked up by Chayton, who's doing a great job. But remember, Chayton on -1. So it's a tough gig against a 6-goal player. But he kept the pressure on there. And he stopped him from scoring, but the ball goes out of bounds. And here's a possession, and look at this drive by Campson. And wow, just off to the right side, but another positive possession as they'll line back up here now on defense to try to control and stop this Dracarys team on the offensive attack.
Dracarys unable to score in Chucker 4 and also right now in Chucker 5, but Leon Schwanke taps the ball in off the end line, and now with a deep neck shot looking for Chayton, but nobody home over there except Chris Campson. Chris Campson going over and picks up the loose ball. Campson right now has a window towards goal. We are looking right down his back. Campson has 2 black jerseys to get around, followed up there by Schwartz. And now Campson comes in behind. Gets a little piece of it, but Brandon Phillips is going to win that play. Brandon Phillips out front by 5 horse lengths. Chris Campson behind going to the whip, but Leon Schwanke taking him out. Chris Campson hollering back to his teammates that he needs some help. Joseph Schwartz has Manifold off. So there's a 1-goal player taking a 4-goal player out, allowing this 4-goal player right here to take it all the way down the field, put it between the goalpost, and score a goal, and they desperately needed that offensive drive.
Yeah, no, they needed this one. That's a broken play down in front of goal. Brandon gets out in front. Well done here by Leon Schwanke to take Campson out. Campson, he was screaming for help, but nobody was in there, and Brandon was gone from the giddy-up. Brandon with 2 perfectly placed balls to get the ball within 60 yards from goal. From there, he could have shut it down, and this is a huge goal. If they can get one here at the end, it'll be big. Steve Lane and Schwanke's going to come out of here. You're going to get your 30-second horn. There's the approach shot. He's got Brandon going forward. They come together, cleaned up nicely by Manifold. 30 seconds left. Here comes KK.
Campson on the roll right here, right now, but Chayton Krishna coming in there as well. And now Nick Manifold riding out, and we are going to end that period with a whistle with 19 seconds on the clock. So, one of the players not quite happy with that call, but stay with us. We'll be back for our 6th and final chukker of regulation play when we come back for the last period of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup.
Hi, I'm Tomacho Pérez.
Hello, I'm Nacho Figueras.
Hello, I'm Martín Muñoz.
I'm Gonzalito Pérez.
I'm Alejandro Novillo Estrada.
Hello, I'm Nacho Novillo Estrada. I made goals and here back in Aspen.
Polo League, a new breed of polo.
All right, as we get ready for our six-chucker play, remember, if you want to learn how to play the game of polo, the Polo School is in effect. Polo School is now located at the former Pony Express, right across the street, actually, from the Santa Rita Polo Farm, and now is the Polo School. And the facility operates in Wellington January through May, and then September through November. And now we're going full on. It's a standalone USPA-sanctioned polo club, and it's driving and dedicated to teaching polo to all ages, particularly grassroots youth. Its mission is to provide individual opportunities in polo at every economic and ability level. So come on out and learn how to play at the Polo School. Nurtures several junior men and women that are playing in pro and amateur ranks today, and I've actually had the opportunity to work with a lot of players. I love the lead line class. We see them. We've watched polo go from having 7 or 8 kids to 200 kids at an event. So it's amazing how the game has grown, and the Polo School is a big part of it. Here we go, though. Six-chucker, get behind your team as we have a 5-goal difference. Let's see if Dracarys can come back, or if Loudmouth can hold on to who will be the champion of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup.
Leon Schwenke picks up the back shot from Phillips, and Schwenke working that ball, trying to get across center field. And Chris Campson coming back on his gray pony. Schwenke crossing center field, still in possession of the ball. He's got nobody to pass to. He's going to hit a next shot. That ball driving straight towards goal. Does it have enough gas? And the goal judge says yes. Could be the shot of the day.
Yeah. That ball's got eyes right there. You get the high flag. Where you at, Dracarys fans? I can't hear you. You need to get behind these guys because that's what you need right now. You need to come out and score early. And that is a perfect scenario play. Remember, a goal a minute, nothing in the game of polo. Well done, Schwenke, and I agree, Steve, goal of the day.
And right now, Chaitan Krishna coming out of the bowl in, hooked out of there by Campson. Campson taking the ball forward just a little bit. Now a back shot. Brandon Phillips has to get around Manifold, but Phillips on the near side, staying just ahead, avoiding the hook of Manifold, and now Manifold gets the hook. Joseph Schwartz coming back. Pony over the top of the ball, but a nice swipe. Able to get that ball on the move. Met in there by Michael Armour. Breaks up the play momentarily. And now Schwenke takes a man on his hip. Goes for the offside play, but a back shot out of there broken up. Chris Campson going to the spur. Now Campson. Oh, a bouncing ball. He canes it. Able to get back to it, though. Schwenke not on the line. Campson checks down. Schwenke's going to stay right there with him. Campson. He's got players downfield, and he hits the ball into a pony, so the whistle will sound, and a little discussion going on there between Campson and Manifold, so I believe hitting into a pony right here will be the call, which can be dangerous use of the mallet as well, Dale.
Yeah, more importantly, that's going to stop the clock with 5:37 on the clock. 4-goal lead. Remember, we ride this, and we... all the time, a goal a minute is nothing in the game of polo, and we have already seen this Dracarys team, I believe. What did Dracarys scored 4 goals in 2.5 minutes?
Yeah, just under 3. So,
just under 3 minutes in this tournament. So they are not out of it. It looked like Leon went to get a new mallet, I believe, because this little Bay Mary's playing really, really strong, and it's going to be picked up by Brandon and knocked down inside the 60, turned around now by Chris.
Campson right now taking that ball to the side, being chased there by Schwenke. Campson puts Schwenke on his hip, checks down, trying to get that ball underneath his horse's neck. And now a little cat and mouse going on right here. Campson with a shot over to the boards where Brandon Phillips is. Brandon Phillips on the boards, trying to get around Nick Manifold, and now Phillips drops it off for Schwenke. Schwenke getting back there in a hurry. Schwenke checking down, followed up again by Phillips. These two working very, very well together. Phillips taking it across the goal. They desperately need a goal right here. Phillips with a neck shot. Backed out of there by Michael Armour, and now Schwenke going back to retrieve the loose ball, turning it back towards the inside of the field. Manifold's going to give him that play, and now Schwenke trying to get around Manifold, bringing it back towards the center into a player. That ball deflected. A back shot there by Campson, and the whistle blows.
So the clock will stop once again with 4:34 to be precise, and they came flying across there. It looked like they are going to call a blocking foul. And we'll see if we get a replay on this one here that comes across. Looks like they're going to go ahead and bring it across here. So we will get a replay on it.
We do not have a replay. Go with it on the field.
Yeah, you couldn't see that live?
No, couldn't see it live. I called play-by-play because they're behind us a few seconds.
All right, so they go ahead and keep one on the field at 4:34 on the clock. And they're going to go ahead and go to a bowling, so no foul on the play. And it looked like there was such a melee there. Remember, you cannot push the ball into a player's horse and just get a foul. You must give that player time to come out of the area or leave the area. Like Steve says, find the quickest route out. And looked like that was happening down there. So that'll have a little break in the action and give everyone out. Remember, we have not had the courtesy change yet, so everyone's going to have an opportunity to jump on fresh legs here. So if they could go ahead and get a possession here, it'd be huge, but I guess they're going to go again. Loudmouth's going to go and get the possession here. So Campson said, let's just get it going. Here you go, Nick.
Manifold on the loose right here. Joseph Schwartz coming in. Backed up by Sobero, and Sobero right now taking the ball straight towards goal, being chased by Chayton. And now Joseph Schwartz, attempted back shot, unable to connect. Manifold overrides as well, and Phillips coming in. And anyhow, another whistle sounds, and it looks like a riding into the shot right here.
Well, stop the clock once again with 4 minutes, and still, remember, before the courtesy change. So now, how does it work? Does it work in favor of the Dracarys team or Loudmouth? On the replay, a nice play there by Chayton, who chases down Scott, who's done a great job playing the defense today. Chayton working on the rotation of the Dracarys 4-man rotation today they've used, and they've had to go into a game plan with that kind of focus based on how the Loudmouth team is lined up. It's going to go in favor, though, Loudmouth. Here comes KK with the open goal penalty 2. And once again, he gets a high flag, and Campson will stay, 99%, only one miss today from the penalty line, and it was a penalty 3. Otherwise, he has been phenomenal with 4 penalty 2s and 2 penalty 4s, and that will push them back to a 5-goal lead.
So our courtesy horse change in progress right now. Umpires bring them back to the field, so we avoid clock management. They blow the whistle, allowing players to go off. We try and keep these courtesy horse changes 45 seconds or less. So when we come back, we'll have a bowl-in right now and a 5-goal difference in the score with 3-3-3 on the clock.
7 goals by Chris Campson. And like I said, they've mixed it up very well, though. Scott with 1, Michael with 1, Nick with 2, and then you mix it up there with Chris actually with 8 on his day, and he has been a goal scorer machine, man. I mean, I think he had 11 one game?
Yeah, he did. 11 goals in one game.
Yeah, he's been, and also a lot of those goals are coming just by using his teammates and then just following the play and picking up a loose ball. You know, he's not actually trying to run through everybody, and I love the way they designed their offense, but everybody works very, very hard. They've been working hard on Dracarys. Like I said, the only issue they've had is these penalties. That's what's coming back to bite them at the moment is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open, 6 goal shot penalties given out of 12 goals have been in favor of Loudmouth.
So our top 2 teams out of 7 right here in front of us, both of these teams winning their semifinal game by 1 goal. And right now, Chaitan Krishna gets the first out of the bowl-in, and Campson coming through and taking the ball on the near side. A quick whistle right there. 2 players going for a near side play. And Dale, you and I know from our umpiring career that when we see 2 players either making a play on the offside or the near side, we may not be sure who's right or wrong, but we're 1,000% sure somebody's wrong.
You got it. No right away on the near side, so KK's got to stay on the offside there and make contact early, and here comes Brandon.
Phillips right now being marked by Manifold, and Phillips sending a shot over to the center of the field. Joseph Schwartz right there, but Leon Schwenke coming back, hitting the ball forward, wrong direction on the near side, and that allows Chris Campson to pick up the loose ball. Joseph Schwartz going to stay right there with him. Now Campson hits a line drive back down the field where Scott Sobero is up front, unable to get to it on the near side, and Phillips with a tail shot, which Leon Schwenke reads very well. Schwenke hitting that ball hard one time, giving up the play to Chris Campson. Joseph Schwartz coming back as well. And now Manifold. Manifold has Sobero out front, taking a full swing, might get him hooked though. And now Manifold checking down. Chris Campson calling for the ball over in the center, unable to get to it on the near side. And now Brandon Phillips on that gray pony. Phillips turning it back towards the outside. He's got Joseph Schwartz downfield. Chaitan Krishna's downfield, and Brandon unable to connect, and Scott Sobero going back, picking up the loose ball, followed by Chris Campson. He sends it back down the field as well. Scott Sobero out front by 6 horse lengths, unable to complete the play, and a back shot right there by Brandon Phillips over to Joseph Schwartz. Time ticking down, just a little over 2 minutes left in the game right here in the final period of regulation play. Joseph Schwartz digs the ball off the boards. Has 2 players up front, and Schwartz still on the move right here. Manifold doesn't want to go in and foul. A nice neck shot right up to Chaitan Krishna. Chaitan out front, tops the ball just a little bit, followed up there by Joseph Schwartz, and that ball going across the field, picked up by Campson. Campson taking it over to the far boards. Campson going to check down right here, trying to get by Schwartz. Campson still with the ball, hooking Schwartz on the play, ending up with the play. Hits the ball back downfield where Scott Sobero is one more time. Offensive drive going on right here across center line. Scott Sobero out front. He's got 5 horse lengths on the nearest opponent. Michael Armour keeping that nearest opponent out of play. And now, that ball over the back line, so Loudmouth unable to score. They don't really need to, but keeping the offensive drive alive. And once again, Dracarys bringing the ball in off the back line, and a whistle from one of our mounted officials. And we see a player getting off a pony right there.
I'll click us down under a minute for our final play here with 5-goal lead. It looks like the Loudmouth team's going to go ahead and hold on. Remember, they started this one out pretty interesting, 4-3. Actually, Dracarys in the lead. After the second chucker, though, the Loudmouth team scored 2 unanswered goals and make it 5-4. And then they kind of went into a battle in the third, and it was 1-1. They left 6-5 Loudmouth. So Loudmouth made up the handicap goal. Then is where things start to come apart for the Dracarys team. 3 unanswered goals scored by the Loudmouth team in the fourth chukker. One by Campson, a penalty 5A, or 5B actually. The Campson hit to Nick Manifold, and then Michael Armour, he received his first. And the 6-5 chucker, it was a bit of a battle again, but they were outscored. The Loudmouth team outscored them 11-6, and here we go at 12-7.
Right now, Loudmouth trying to play some defense right here, and Brandon Phillips trying to get an offensive drive going. Joseph Schwartz reaches back, unable to make contact. Brandon Phillips coming on through. Chayton Krishna has Scott Sobero ridden out, and now Brandon Phillips able to check down. Here comes our first horn right there. So it looks like Loudmouth is going to be victorious, even though Brandon Phillips is going to send one through the uprights right here at the end. So a final score of 12-8 in favor of Loudmouth. They are the winners of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. After the second period, they just never looked back. They were behind after the first, ahead from the second period on. So a great game by both teams giving it their all. So we will have our trophy presentation, but right now Dale Schwetz is going to let us know how these two teams compared in the second half.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And yeah, we put your hands together, everybody, for both of these teams. As we said, we had some amazing semifinal games. You can always go back to CTV Sports to look at those. But it's going to end here 12-8. And, well, pretty simple. Loudmouth, 20 shots on goal. They had 17 shots on goal in their semifinal. This team, they get down there and they get so many shots, so many opportunities, you could say. And there are only 11 opportunities for Dracarys. So you got to give credit where credit is due, and that's good defense by Loudmouth. And but that's going to hurt you in the end. Knock-ins. Well, 8 knock-ins for Dracarys. That means those are misses for the Loudmouth team. But when you take 20 shots at goal, that's not too bad, because the Loudmouth team knocked in 4 times, and that would be 4 misses by Dracarys on 11 shots at goal. On the fouls committed, this is where Dracarys had their issues today. We talked a lot about it. 12 fouls, and anything over 6 or 8, you got to be careful, especially in semifinal and final game, because most of those teams have very good goal shot shooters, penalty shooters. So that hurt them a lot, but they'll come back off of that. 6 of them were scored there. So, half the goals that the Loudmouth team scored today, they scored from the penalty line. Congratulations to Chris Campson. He was a shooter, and he had all different types. He had 2 from the 60, 4 from the 30, and then also 1 from center that he hit. That was finished by Nick Manifold. So a very strong job here. Congratulations to the Loudmouth team. I'd like to congratulate the Dracarys team also for making it to the finals of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. Yeah, of course, our whole crew over here, they'll be back, as they say. This is our first tournament of the season as we are ramping up here at the Aspen Valley at the Grand Champions Polo Club after our Aspen Valley Cup. We're starting our 12 goal, which you'll be able to see all week. We also have our women's polo. You can watch that every Wednesday. If you'd like to see the ladies play, please come on out and check that out. And we're getting ready for our 5th season of the World Polo League. We're very excited about that. Only 26-goal polo in North America. The highest rated polo in North America, anywhere outside of Argentina. So you can get ready for that also. So I'm glad you tuned in today. Remember, stay with us here as we are going to have our trophy presentation. So I'm just going to send it to a little break. And when we return, you'll be able to see all of the players up close and personal with our best playing pony and our MVPs. And once again, thank you for joining us today here on CTV Sports in the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. We'll be right back for our trophy presentation.
I am Nick Weaver. I am the co-founder and COO of Blue Delta Gene Co. I've probably measured over 30,000 butts, 7 feet tall and 7 feet wide. Doesn't matter. It is fun making people happy. When you make a garment that fits, that's one thing. When you make a garment fit and look good, that's another thing. And we are very good at the latter. We have grown our company by taking care of people. We have grown by making jeans that fit. There are some things that will never change. Where it's made, how it's made, and who's making them. Every jean is one of one. But now we can get you measured from anywhere in the world. We have rolled out a virtual tailor system, blown away with the technology. It's unbelievable how accurate it is. It's a quick, easy, touchless way so we can get the measurements to make you a pair of damn good jeans.
Okay, welcome back everybody to CTV Sports, and you can see we have our Loudmouth team. I'd like to thank Louise Armour for doing our trophy presentation today. Thank you, Louise, very much. We appreciate that. Nice seeing you up there. And we're just waiting for the rest of the Dracarys team. What a game it was. Congratulations, Loudmouth. You guys were successful this whole tournament. Every game was amazing. And this one, was 4-3 after the first chucker. Dracarys actually had the lead. And then it was 5-4. You led, and then 6-5 at halftime. It was 9-5 after the fourth. That was a big chucker. You guys jumped ahead. And then it was 11-6, and then a final of 12-8. So we'd like to also thank the Dracarys team and congratulate them for making it here to the finals. And we'll go ahead and get our trophy presentation going. Thank you for joining us here on CTV Sports and our trophy presentation. This is our first trophy presentation of the 2023 season. And so we're going to get Leon Schwanke. Come on, Leon. One of the tougher players right here. Long game he had today. They're hustling out there. But there you go, everybody. Please put your hands together for both of our teams here. Dracarys in their dark jerseys and Loudmouth in, of course, the multicolor. Let's go with our runners-up today. Once again, Louise Armour is going to go ahead and help us out here. Thank you, Louise, and Michael's mother. And playing the number one, please put your hands together for Shaden Christensen. Shaden, well, man, you worked hard today, buddy, in the front, in the back. And Shaden was there. Great final. Playing the number two, and he worked really hard also. And he's going to be a great little polo player. Joseph Schwartz, his mother, working here with CTV Sports. Playing the number three, you heard his name a lot today in the blue helmet, the man in the blue helmet, Leon Schwanke. He had 2 goals on the day, Joseph with 1, and then Brandon Phillips, the captain, with 4 goals on the day. And as they said, they just got edged out there today against a very strong team, and that's our Loudmouth team. So put your hands together here for Loudmouth, playing the number one today, and he's been awesome. He had 1 goal today. Scott Saboro, come on, Scott. He had 5 goals in his previous game and did a fabulous job playing the number one through the whole tournament. Playing number 2, super strong in the middle, Mr. Nick Namfold on 3 goals. And him and this guy, Chris Campson with 8 goals on the day. Put your hand together for KK. Did a great job captaining the team. And then this is a special award, as Louise will be giving it to her son, as Michael Armour. And Michael, he did a lot of work this tournament. Wearing the number 4, Michael, but you played everywhere, all around the field. So we'll take one picture with everybody. Louise, stay up there. Louise, stay up there. And we have our MVP, So we got to have an MVP. Remember, the MVP for the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup is going to Chris Campson. KK, step on up. Number 3 in the multicolored jersey, Loudmouth, remember, clothing line. So congratulations. If we could get the Dracarys team to step down, and we'll get a picture with them. And then we want to bring over, for the best playing pony, Chayton. Come on over, Chayton. If we have our best playing pony while we line the Loudmouth team up. Yep, we're going to get the Loudmouth team lined up. But we want to give Chayton, go on over there, Chayton. Let's bring her up. This is a mare called Flying Raina, and you cannot win without the four-legged athlete. So everybody, please put your hand together for Chayton Krishna. Bring her in the middle, Chayton. Come on over. Come on over in the middle, because it's all about the four-legged athletes. This is a beautiful, beautiful pony here, Chayton. Congratulations. And to your whole crew right here, Chayton, all your boys, all the trainers. You got to win off the field to win on the field. Please put your hand together for the 2023 best playing pony for the Aspen Valley Cup, Flying Raina, owned and ridden by Chayton Krista. Congratulations. Here we go. One more time, though. Let's let them raise that trophy up. Get it up there, Nick. Get it up above. Luis said, there you go, everybody. Get your hand on it there. Please put your hand together, guys, for the winners of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup, Loudmouth. Great job, guys. And once again, Dracarys, thank you, guys. As always, we will see you again. Brandon, Jason, Joseph, and Leon, we will see you guys again, I'm sure, man. Tough game, guys. Tough game. All right, well, this has always been fun here, and we, of course, here at the Aspen Grand Champions Polo Club, thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. Awesome job. Awesome job. Michael, great job. Really good job. Really good job. Great job there. Well, there you go. Our first tournament is a wrap, as we say here at the Grand Champions Polo Club. Remember, keep your eyes open. Hey, well, thank you, man. Thank you. Well done. Congratulations, making the final. Congratulations on the best playing pony. A lot of love, a lot of energy being played here. That was Aco Polo. It doesn't look like Aco Polo to me. So you're going to see a lot of polo. So once again, stay with us here on CTV Sports, as we have polo for you all through the month of May. And you can catch everything on CTVsports.tv. So for Steve Lane, KK, MVP, congratulations. For Steve Lane, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone at CTV Sports when I say thank you for making us leaders in polo broadcasting. And always remember here at CTV Sports that we love the polo.